Brother Power the Geek was created in October 1968 by Joe Simon. His first appearance was in Brother Power the Geek #1. Now, he just basically was a Frankenstein character, right down to the lightning that brought him to life. And the only powers and abilities he had came from the fact that he was this ragdoll of a character that wasn't really alive. So he could take a lot of damage, and he didn't feel things the same way we did. However, in the Vertigo version of Brother Power the Geek, he was given the ability to basically reside in any kind of artificial human thing. Like, so it's a doll, a statue, that kind of thing. So that would actually give him the powers of whatever he was able to inhabit. Now, originally he was supposed to be named The Freak, but the name was changed to Geek because they found out that Freak was a nickname for drug addict at the time. And he was designed to be a wanderer going from place to place, finding causes and adventures, but unfortunately, in spite of sales being fair, the book was canceled. See, Superman's editor at the time, Mort Weisenberg, was not a fan of the positive light that he thought that the book was giving to the hippie culture, and he petitioned to have the book canceled before the art of the third issue was copied. And as luck would have it, I used to do a written blog and reviewed the first 2 issues, as well as the Vertigo book, which was supposed to be what the third issue was about. So here they are. I'll start up with a little bit of a summary because I didn't really give one in my reviews, and then I'll give the review of the book. First thing I would like to talk about is the cover. It's really sharp, good use of color, great shadow. Even the word placement does not get in the way of the art. Also, it's a panel from the comic, and I love that. I like it when a comic cover tells you exactly what you're going to get inside. Okay, sometimes I like an obscure one, but I just love it. This is the era of great comic book covers, and this is just one of the better ones among them. Another thing I like are how the characters are introduced as if they're actors in a movie. I just thought this was a nice touch. So the book opens with hippies doing whatever hippies do, lay around, smell the flowers, look at the flowers, talk, sing, play guitar, everything that what you thought hippies would do, when all of a sudden a motorcycle gang pops out and just begins to beat the crap out of them. 3 of the hippies run away. They find shelter in an abandoned tailor shop. One of them, whose clothes are wet, decides to hang his clothes on a tailor's dummy. We assume that Paul found other clothes because the dummy sits beside the radiator through summer, fall, winter, and then is struck by lightning. The hippies hear the noise, but before they are able to process the fact that this dummy has come to life, the motorcycle gang bursts in, and before they can cause too much trouble, Brother Power stops their motorcycles in their tracks. Seeing that he can't be hurt and he's super strong, the hippies nickname him Brother Power the Geek, and they go out into the city, but Brother Power figures he doesn't want to live like a lazy hippie, so he leaps away. Yet he returns to his hippie friends, but they see that he needs an education, so they send him to first grade. He's embarrassed by that, so he jumps in a backpack and goes to their science labs with them, so he can learn chemistry and why he moves the way he moves. And as they're walking home at night, they see the psychedelic circus. But when the psychedelic circus has a float breakdown, Brother Power tries to help him, and when they see his super strength, they immediately kidnap him, because that's what you do. They worry about what to do about their kidnapped friend, Brother Power the Geek, and since they can't fight, they decide to have a happening. A comic book superhero happening. And in this case, a superhero happening means dress up like the Spirit of 76 and walk right on into the big biker gang that kicked your ass before. And of course, the biker gang beats the teetotal snot out of the hippies. And afterwards they say, "Hey hippies, why did you fight this time?" And they say, "We want our friend back." And he says, "Hey, I don't have your friend. Go check somewhere else." And they say, "Wait a second. Wasn't it the psychedelic circus that kidnapped him? Maybe we should go to the psychedelic circus to try to find him." They find Brother Power chained up and guarded by the circus strongman, so they try to fight the circus strongman to free Brother Power. Of course, the hippies are getting their butt kicked, but a dropped light charges Brother Power with some electricity, and he ends up fighting back, winning his freedom. So the three escape. They make their way back home, but Brother Power's torn up, so they call their friend Cindy, who has a sewing kit. She comes over and she makes him presentable and even gives him his trademark flower symbol. Not wanting to live the life of the lazy hippie again, Brother Power decides to make something of himself, so he runs for Congress. But the circus strongman with some cops show up, and he says, hey, he's the guy that ruined my circus. So they chase after him. The hippies say, hey, nobody believes hippies. You're not going to get away with this. You got to run, B-Pal. So he knocks the circus strongman down and then takes off. And even though it was the cops chasing him, this iconic scene, he's being chased by the Warhawks instead. So he runs down a tunnel, and on the other side there's a cameraman. So his friends are able to watch as he gets away from the Warhawks, knocks him down, and does a super leap with a motorbike to get away from him. But then the cops show up and begin to chase him. Well, they say it's the National Guard, but it looks like the cops. And he's stuck on the bridge, and he figures, hey, there's no way off. So he drives off the bridge and into the water, very much like Frankenstein, and that is how it ends. He goes into the water. So if you watch, like I said, it's very much like Frankenstein. He is just a stand-in for him. The whole story right up to the end where the villagers are chasing him away is the story. Instead of burning in a mill, he goes into the water. And this was my review of Brother Power the Geek #1. I was not expecting to like this book, especially not as much as I did. Sure, it has a simple plot, and the dialogue is cheesy and amazingly forced. Yet what comic book from the Silver Age did not have a simple plot and cheesy forced dialogue, especially one that dealt with young people? This book really did seem like it was written by a 50-year-old man who thought this was the way young people sounded. And even though the book was canceled because somebody thought that it glorified the hippie lifestyle, it really didn't. There's no portrayal of drugs, there's no portrayal of alcohol in the book, and twice Brother Power ditches the hippies. I mean, yeah, sure, in one scene he goes back to them and he's talking like them, but as soon as he realizes, hey, I should get a job, he gets a job. He says, I don't want to live the lazy lifestyle of a hippie, and he takes off. The art, while credited to Joe Simon for the longest time, was actually done by Al Baer, and I have to say he did a fine job. The action was very well laid out. The pacing was good. I thought the book just had a great look to it. So the art definitely works. In the end, Brother Power the Geek #1 is a very fun book if you are able to suspend your disbelief. If you're just leave your brain at the door, read it for what it is, have a good time. Because if you think about it for 5 seconds, how can something with no bone structure have super strength? Then it's going to kind of make you go, what? But there you go. And I'm sure there's going to be comments below explaining to me how something with no bone structure has super strength. Unfortunately, I lost my copy of Brother Power the Geek #2, so I can just give you the review. I apologize for that. And it went like this. Come on, B-Pal. Can I call you B-Pal? I really stuck my head out for you on the first issue. Sure, there are some silly moments, but overall, there was a great sense of fun and a reminder of why I got started in this hobby in the first place. This book, however, gets to the point where silly becomes stupid, and it reaches that point about 3 pages in with the introduction of the Berlin airplanes. Now, don't get me wrong, every hero needs a villain, so I guess you have to have someone to fight, but you would think someone would have read that out loud and put a stop to it. Nazi airplane fighters versus a ragdoll man. After that, and for a while, there was a moment when I thought the book really began to have a feel of the first book. Unfortunately, the feeling lasted. Lord Side Rule, and the desire of Joe Simon to create a grocery store that makes missiles. Not even Walmart has entered into the business of international ballistics yet. But if I'm being honest about the whole thing, with all the stupidity, with all the silliness, this is still a really fun book. Is it as good as the first one? No, it is not. However, it's still entertaining. It does not take itself seriously. It doesn't think you should either. It makes fun of the culture it's trying to honor. It is still drawn very well. The cover is still excellent. There are a lot of good points to Brother Power the Geek #2, as there are a number of not so great qualities to it. And there you go, kids, a few thoughts and words on a character nobody was ever thinking about, but I enjoyed the books of. And this is the kind of video I like to do, and I'm always hoping that they take off. I'm always hoping that these are the videos that start to get the views, because even I am tired of talking about Marvel Comics. But what did you think? Did you like the Brother Power saga? Would you like me to continue the Brother Power saga? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to share the video, because that's a great way to get views if the video is shared. And like I said, I just want to do more characters, more comic books I like. I mean, I enjoy doing the America books, but god damn it, there's more than just fucking America in the freaking world. Anywho, I shouldn't have said that. But if you like videos like this, click like and share and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything else. And most importantly, thank you very much for watching. And this is the part where I try to pay the bills, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Go on over, drop $1 in the till. Good things happen. Great things are on the way. Also, I would like to thank our 4 patrons and the one that's anonymous. DB, Sky Roseboom, Jesse Novacek, Patriot Cat. Thank you very much for helping. Everyone else, thank you very much for watching.